Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we're just going to go live on Facebook, on Instagram, and just let everyone join us for this amazing session. But thank you for joining me today. My name is DK Jonah, and I am the host of the series that we're sharing. Let me know how my audio is. I hope you can hear me today because my computer keeps making noise, so I don't know how the audio is, but please let me know how the audio is today. Hopefully, you can hear me properly. And those on Instagram are joining now, and the noise won't affect us. Thank you so much for joining today. So, today we are going to be talking about tools. We've talked a lot about how to build your creative flow, how to go beyond goals, but you can't go beyond goals on your own. You need certain tools to help you go beyond goals. So, welcome to this episode of Stock to Finish. Now, as usual, I'll do a recap. What's Stock to Finish and what are we finishing? Stock to Finish is a series that helps you complete what you started. We observed a couple of things. One, people don't have a problem setting goals. So everyone knows that they should set goals. Everyone knows that your goals should be smart. In addition, you know that these smart goals should be done without you procrastinating. So you are not procrastinating, you're doing what needs to be done. So how do you stay on track after you set your goals? We mentioned the fact that it's not just about setting goals, but it's about building a system that works for you, not against you. And this is one of the things you need to build your system. You need tools. Everybody has their tools of the trade. Everybody has what they like, everybody has what they love. But these days, there are so many new tools coming up every single day. And you're like, oh, let me try it. Let me try to see if it's better. They all promise wonderful features. They promise to make you 10 times more productive. They promise to help you overcome procrastination. Once you download this app, you can never procrastinate again. Once you use this tool, all your slides will be made. Now with AI, all the AI revolution is just hitting it there. Everybody's talking about one new tool, one new platform, and there's a temptation to want to try it all. But which ones are the best for you? How do you build your creative arsenal? Why do I call it a creative arsenal? Because everybody should have their weapons of mass destruction that they use for themselves. Everybody should have the tools in their toolkit that they use. And that's your creative arsenal. You can choose to call it whatever you want to. But there are certain tools that you use regularly that you need to master and master them well. As usual, we'll go through our strategic productivity system, the method. It's about defining what matters, designing what matters, and delivering. And part of designing what matters is picking the tools. And you're picking your tools based on your skills and interests. So we are over here under designing what matters. We are exactly here. And that's what we're trying to achieve today. Now, why do we need to have the right tools and apps? Because they enhance our creativity and productivity. I talked about the fact that creativity and productivity do not work together, they clash. So how do you create a tool that will or use a tool that will enhance your creativity and productivity, and you're not spending hundreds of hours because somebody has described it as the best tool? And I think this is the most important thing you should understand. There are benefits of using digital tools and apps in the creative process. Do not ignore the digital tools and apps that exist. But what are these tools and why do you need tools? A carpenter needs his hammer, its pencil, he needs all these tools in order to produce an amazing table. You, in order to produce the best results in your life, need specific things that aid you. Most of the time, we think the tools make us better. So, oh, once I get Notion, I'll be the best at it. Once I start using Trello, I'm mentioning some apps, tools, and things, and I'll mention them from time to time, but then I will explain the difference and how you can use them as we go along. Just for those on Instagram, we were not doing this on Instagram before, so we had to improvise and think of a way to get you guys on board. So let me see if this works and if you're able to see the screen properly. So I just need to make a little adjustment, and yeah, that's a lot better. So how do you choose the tools that you will work for you? Remember, these tools are supposed to enhance two things: your creativity and your productivity. That's to help you be the best version of yourself. That's to help you save time, collapse time. So it's not about doing things quicker and faster all the time. Productivity is not about doing more. It's about being efficient and effective in the things that we do daily. How do you use tools to enhance your creativity? The first thing you have to do realize is this: tools don't make you better, but if you are choosing tools, choose based on your passion and interest first. What are you passionate about? What are you interested in? So you should identify your creative needs. What are your creative needs and what are your goals? I'll use myself as an example. I have a podcast, I have a blog, I have an email list I want to email. So that's a newsletter. So those are three different things that I want to build: a podcast, a blog, a newsletter, and let's say social media. Four different things. Okay, the fifth one will be my agency, my practice that I am running. These five things. In order to do these things, I have some creative needs that I want to accomplish. The main goal is to establish me as the number one productivity coach in the world. So with the agency, with the podcast, with the blog, everything has the same aim. I need to have what is called a second brain online that I could use to retrieve information anytime that I want it. I forgot to check in with those on Facebook to see if they can hear me. Hopefully, you can. And I've not been talking to myself because we've made that mistake in the past. Joys of doing streaming. All right. So first of all, you identify your creative needs. Do you know your creative needs? If you don't know your creative needs, you have to define your creative needs. I want to create videos. I want to create clips from my podcast. I want to send newsletters. I want to get snippets of the newsletters that I can use. So get quotes and grab quotes out of it so I could change to tweets. I want to create blog posts. I want to be able to create this blog post and newsletter and transfer them to an e-letter. I have the goals I want to achieve. That's at the back of my mind. What projects am I going to work on and will the tasks be involved? So based on what I am saying now with podcast, there is consistency. With going live, there is consistency. So I have to produce episodes that have the same format. So there's a specific workflow that works for it. And I have to determine the areas I will need support and assistance from tools and apps. Now, whether it's AI tools, BI tools, CI tools, any tools, digital, analog, AI, they assist you. They help you become better. They help improve you, but you are the most important factor. When choosing your tools, realize that it's your creative needs, not the tool's creative needs. So somebody has brought a new tool and it's not in line with your passion, it's not in line with your interest. I'll give an example. I have been seeing the magical things people are creating on PowerPoints. I am so invested in learning. But I have chosen Canva as my as part of my creative arsenal, and I'm not letting go. So I will let those that play with PowerPoint have fun, and I will stick to what I want because I have assessed my creative needs. The old me will have started watching PowerPoint presentations to look at how I can improve my PowerPoint skills, and that would waste my time. So know yourself. The second thing you have to do is do your own work, research and explore options. So before I arrived at Canva, I used PeakMonkey. I used a couple of other tools to help me out daily. You have to know your options. YouTube is your friend. Watch videos, watch reviews. What have other people said? Explore different options available in the market. Don't just grab one tool and use it immediately. Consider factors such as compatibility, user interface, reviews. Think about how it will be on Zapier. Can it be integrated into other tools? For example, MailChimp can be integrated into some tools. MailerLite can be integrated into more tools. But there are some tools that you need MailerLite that you may not use. These are e-newsletter features. I have to think about how it can be integrated and the compatibility. Evaluate and compare tools and apps. Don't just pick one tool and use it. Do your homework. But when you are doing your homework, you are wearing your analyst hat. You are doing the critical analysis. You are not just looking at the surface level. So what you do first of all is create a list of tools and apps that meet your requirement because you've done your research now. What are the tools and apps that meet your requirement? Then evaluate each based on criteria such as functionality, user friendliness, reliability, and most importantly, cost. Let me tell you something about the cost of these tools. You're paying £6 here, you're paying £19 here, you're paying £20 here. That's monthly. If you don't take time, you will find yourself paying £200 to £300 a month on tools alone. And some of these tools you're not using, you just have them because everyone has them and they've gone pro. One tool I will always say you can go pro for is Canva. And I stand by that anytime because they have improved, they have added value, and they've done so many things for users. But compare the pros and cons of each tool and app to make an informed decision. You don't want to make a decision based on just feelings. Oh, this app looks cute. It feels this. I always say Monzo is my favorite banking app. Any other banking app I don't like. But find out the pros and cons and look beyond the surface, look at functionality, and look at yourself. Will you use it or will you abandon it? Consider integration and compatibility. Will it integrate with other tools? You have to ensure it's compatible with your device. That affected me. So let me tell you a story. I bought a tool that was supposed to connect to my camera. I bought an Elgato live stream. I watched videos. It was compatible with Canon EOS 1000D. It was compatible with every other camera except my 100D. Now, if I had done my work and checked about the integration and compatibility, not just saying it works with Canon camera and EOS cameras, I won't have wasted that money. Now, that tool is still in the toolbox because I did not start using it earlier. I found out about 5 months later and I'm thinking of selling it, but I'm like, I might get the camera that is compatible with it. It streams 4K videos. Just imagine my Zoom videos, all my videos will be in 4K, but I bought the wrong tool. So sometimes we start with good reasons, but we end up getting burnt because we do not see if it's compatible with our phones. You have a MacBook, is it compatible with a MacBook? You have an Android phone, is it compatible with Android apps? Do they have an Android app for it? So check if the tools and apps you choose can integrate with your system, current system and workflow. That's what we're saying. Ensure it integrates with what you currently have. Ensure system you use, MacBook and laptops. Look for seamless data transfer and synchronization between different tools and apps. These are little things that you should be thinking out. Please try out free trials. My voice went high for that. Try out free trials. I'm whispering it, or demo versions. However, read the terms and conditions and cancel before they collect your money. The beautiful thing about free trials is try and see, then chill. Don't be in a hurry. I was trying to cancel Adobe recently because I needed to open a file, and I said, "Oh, I can't. I can't pay £66 a month or something thereabout." And they split. They said, "Oh, pay 30 something." I'm like, "No, you're not going to get me because first of all, the 3 months you're paying 30 will go there. All of a sudden, it goes to 60. No, be careful. Test the features and functionality to get a first-hand experience. It's not just looking at the surface and the reviews. What is your own experience with it? Is it functional for you? Is it something that you should use? Seek recommendations and reviews. YouTube comment sections, fantastic place to live. Go to the best videos, look at the comment sections. Go to lower performing videos, look at the comment section. If they are giving the same complaint, run for your life. Make your selection, make decisions that work for you. Make decisions based on what works for you, not what works for others. So based on the research, evaluation, etc. that you've done, especially if you've tested it, make a final decision of the apps you want to use. But take the following things into consideration. You need to consider your budget and affordability while making the selection. Can I afford this for 5 months? If I can, I go for it. If I can't, I change my mind. Ensure the chosen tools and apps align with your creative goal and offer the functionality you need. You have certain functionality that work for you. I have certain functionalities that work for me. Choose what you want. Now that you've chosen your tools, it's not enough to have your creative arsenal, then you just sit on it. You need to also set up and familiarize yourself. Now, why are we talking about tools? Because there are different tools that you can use to improve the way you get things done, but you're not dependent on these tools. These tools will not work without you. If that tool is on your phone, or that product is on your phone, or that app is on your phone and you don't use it, it doesn't work. So you need to install and set up. Take time to familiarize yourself with the features and functionalities and explore tutorials, guides. YouTube is your best friend. Integrate the tools into your workflow. We'll talk about workflow. I just said let it flow, let it flow. I was listening to a song by Theophilus Sunday, And anyway, but incorporate the chosen tools and apps into your creative workflow. Everybody has their own creative workflow. Integrate this, explore how they can streamline your process. There are sometimes you need to do some things just once, and once you've done it, this process has been streamlined. Customize settings and preferences to optimize your experience. Now, I said this before and I will say it again. Tools don't make you better. You get better by using tools. You get better by using tools. It's you that is the active word. You are using the tools. So when you're trying to be more productive, when you're trying to improve the way you get things done, when you want to be the best version of yourself, your first thing should not be to go and buy the most expensive laptop. Your first thing should not be to go and buy the most expensive camera. Sometimes we believe that when we have the most expensive things, we will do better. Lies. We don't do better because we have the most expensive thing. We do better because we ourselves take action and take action consistently. So before you invest in a DSLR camera, before you invest in a very expensive gaming laptop, try and do it first. Try and use what you have. What do you currently have that you can use? Practice with what you have, then you can upgrade. Because when you understand and you've done your research and you understand certain things, you will know what to go for and what not to go for. You would have improved your knowledge of the tools and you would have been better with your creativity. Productivity and creativity go hand in hand. But there's a tendency as individuals for us to actually do this thing. We want to get this tool, we get the tool we always wanted, and then we don't use it again. I don't know what we're saving it for. We're saving it for a rainy day, we're saving it for a sandstorm, we're just saving it for something and not using it. So, what we need to do is find ways to use the tools that we have. Tools don't make you better. You get better by using the tools. So use what you have chosen. And then simplify processing, possessing tools or resources. Simply, I say simplify. I was wondering, simply possessing tools or resources is not enough to improve oneself. True growth and improvement comes from actively using these tools and resources. Fantastic. I agree with this statement. And it's true. Sometimes the only way to grow is by improving what you've done, by reflecting. That's why we call it a personal productivity system. It's a system that works together. So these are examples of some digital tools that you can use, and they all are used for different purposes. So when it comes to task management, you have Trello, Asana, Todoist. It's for task management. You're managing your task. But if you want to take notes, you have other tools. Some my favorite tool is not mentioned here, but I will tell you why. Notion. Notion, in fact, is an all-rounder. Note taking, you have Evernote, OneNote, Google Keep. Fantastic tools. Time tracking, you have Rescue Time, Toggle. I love Toggle. I haven't used Clockify, but I heard it's amazing. I am forever for storage. Storage is part of your. Why am I putting storage among your tools? Because you need to have a place to central place to save your files. I use Google Drive 90% of the time. Initially, I started with Dropbox, but I've broken up with Dropbox. iCloud can be used. If you want to collaborate on projects, everybody knows we use Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Slack. Project management, we can use Basecamp, Monday.com, Jira. Mind mapping, MindMeister, ML loves that, Xmind, and Koggle. You have your password maintenance, language and meditation. All these are digital tools. Analog to mobile apps, fitness and health apps, we have language translation, finance management. These may be tools that you use regularly. So take a picture of these slides so you can use them and save them. Analog tools. Now let's talk analog tools. You don't always have to go digital. Let's start with what you have at home. You have pen and paper. So that's journals, notebooks, planners for writing and organizing. They are amazing tools. Don't ignore the analog tools. We have whiteboards and sticky notes. Most people don't use whiteboards. So I like using whiteboards for brainstorming, planning, having certain things as I'm talking to you. I have some things on my whiteboard that I'm like, okay, yes, I have to say this. There's Sketchbook for artists, calendars and planners, flip charts. I love using flip charts. Physical exercise equipment, that's for your fitness, musical instruments, that's if you want your brain to get used bored, not to get bored, board games and art supplies. Now, when you're picking tools, this is what I think about tool utilization. You have high access to various tools, so you need to choose. but it is the consistent and intentional use of tools that leads to personal growth and improvement. When you use the tools, you improve. You don't need to have this thing. When it comes to selecting tools, one thing I always talk about is individual responsibility. Now, you're responsible for your personal development. I say do not outsource your growth and personal development to someone else. Take charge of it. So it's not enough to possess tools. It doesn't guarantee that you will make progress. It doesn't guarantee that you'll be the best graduating student. It doesn't guarantee that your podcast will be number one because you have a studio. Merely possessing tools does not guarantee progress unless one takes initiative to employ them effectively. So, how do you want to employ them effectively? That's a decision you have to make. But that's by incorporating it into your system. So, you have a way to check how am I doing with this tool? But it's your individual responsibility. It is your actions and commitment that will definitely drive your personal growth, nothing else. So you can download the best app, but you're going to be a chronic procrastinator until you stand up and do something. Thank you. Finding what works. This is the most difficult part because sometimes, I remember when ChatGPT came, I was refusing to look at it because I had used Jarvis and I knew Jarvis was fantastic. And I said, I'm not really looking for anything. I found what I want. Sometimes try and explore. Yes, I said use what you have, but sometimes explore. Don't be like me. Not every tool will resonate with every person. I agree. Some people did not find Canva easy, but everybody has unique preferences, strengths, and learning styles that work for them. So what I want you to do is be adventurous. Not like the submarine, but be adventurous. Explore different tools and approaches to find out what works best for your specific skills. Now, this is the best part, adaptation and customization. Some people will use Notion in such a way, they adapt it in such a way that I am like, what were you thinking? You need to share your secrets. Adapt the tools, use Zapier, use things to make sure that Airtable goes with this, creates a seamless workflow. Watch videos, be adventurous, but take action. Don't let this distract you from the main work because adaptation and customization takes time. It's based on your usage that you will know what to customize. The key is to making it work for you by tailoring it to fit your needs and integrating it into your personal development approach. Throughout words have never been spoken by me. So, shining eye syndrome, whatever you called it, the gold rush, everybody is building new AI tools. I wanted to show you people one AI tool. I may still show depending on how things go, but don't be in a hurry to try every single tool. It's important to maintain focus on personal growth and not get caught in the endless search for the latest tool or technique. So you have sometimes that Canva competitor bring out a new feature, you want to try it. Oh, this feature I have this. I combine different tools for this. I use CapCut for this. I use this for this. Sometimes you can do everything in one app. Try and avoid distractions. Digital tools versus analog tools. It's about understanding what works for you. Now, I'm not saying tools are not important. They actually are, but they're not the most important thing. You are the most important thing when it comes to your personal development. The tools are only an accessory. That's why they're part of your creative arsenal. When you're choosing tools to become more productive, don't see it as, oh, this tool will make me better. I will get better by using this tool. You have your goals that you set for yourself. So by setting yourself goals and creating these tools that you can use, Notion is a fantastic tool I will tell everybody to try. It's for task management. If you don't know what task management is, it's categorizing your task and then managing it in a way that works for you. It can be used for productivity, it can be used for note taking. There are quite a lot of features and it can also be customized. But the effectiveness of any tool relies on the active engagement and commitment of you, the individual. So, what commitment are you making to yourself this weekend? What are the things that you want to improve? What are the tools that you want to use? What do you currently use daily, weekly to improve the way you get things done? Do you have a system for tracking your growth? Do you even know if you're growing or if you're stuck in one place because you've not adapted, you've not grown, you're just having the same goal every year, but you're not hitting it? You want to be better, but you don't even define what better is. The key to personal development is finding the right tools for you and adapting them as necessary. It's for you to stay focused on your journey, because we are all on a personal growth journey. I don't know about you, but I want to be the best version of myself every day. I want to know that within the power, strength, knowledge, and everything I have leveraged all my skills and ideas to bring the best version of myself. And so can you. It takes time, it takes commitment. Most importantly, it takes you realizing that you have a role to play and that cannot be outsourced. I know I always say don't outsource your personal growth as a joke, but it's the truth. No one knows you like you. So, like, remember, we always have quizzes and questions that we ask ourselves. We're going to ask ourselves a few questions this weekend. So, pen and paper, and let's answer these questions at our own time. You can send me a DM with your answer if you want to. I don't mind. But the first question is, how are you doing today? Now, if you are answering this one, you don't need to share it with anybody. This is a question I ask people when I want them to dig deep into what they are doing, what they are struggling with, and how they are feeling. So, when you're writing in your journal, when you're writing in your notes, when you're writing in that piece of paper that we always say you tear away, write what no one else would see. Exactly how you are feeling at this point in time, not how you wish you were feeling, how your church has told you to feel, how your ancestors say you should be feeling, but how you as an individual are feeling today. And you writing this thing about how you're feeling is more concerned with you understanding that there is this mental load that we carry as creatives, as individuals, that we don't let go of. So this weekend, I want you to let go of that stress you've put on your shoulder, that unnecessary stress. And the second question is, if you and I are having this conversation 1 year from today, so that would be the 23rd of June 2024, what would you like to have happened to you professionally and personally for you to be happy, for you to be excited, for you to be content? What would you like to have happened personally and professionally for you to be happy? I'll repeat the question. If you and I are having this conversation 1 year from today, so on June 23rd, 2024, you and I are having this same conversation, what would you like to have happened to you professionally? It's a simple question, and I think everyone should answer it. But that brings me to the end of today's session. Like I said, Instagram wasn't part of it, but people asked that we bring it here. So let me know if you can see it, and we will take it from there. Also, I have an event coming on the 1st of July 2023. It's like a middle of the year reset. Why we're doing this reset is I realized that many people have set goals and have abandoned them, and it's time for us to hit the reset button and plan for the future. Set new goals that we can actually accomplish and take steps to accomplish them. So if you're interested, send me a DM, just write goals, and I will send you the details of how you can register. But today is a short one. I just want to say thank you very much for joining me today. As a recap, we talked about creative tools. We talked about the tools that you should be using and the fact that you don't need every tool in the market to be creative. Creativity and productivity come when you use the right tools, and the tools get better when you use them, not you. You don't, um, I'll rephrase that. You get better when you use the tools. The tools also get better. Don't think that the tools are what make you the best version of yourself. You make the tools better. Sometimes when we think about tools, we think about how they can improve us. We can't wait to buy the best camera. We can't wait to have the best equipment to record our podcast. We can't wait to have the best websites to do whatever we need to do. But the person you are today is the same person you're going to be when you have that website. So you have to work on yourself. Remember, do not outsource your personal growth to someone else. Take ownership of your growth. And I'll see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Cheers. Bye.